Hey guys, it's MMA Blanket here, tuning in to look at this UFC fight night, Arnold versus Costa, and we're gonna start off with Shanna Bannon and Nicole Calari. These two ladies here, 32, 29. Shanna Bannon, the taller lady, she's got some range on her. Nicole Calari, uh, short. I've seen her fight a longer reached person, and I will say that it's gonna come down to the grappling here. Shauna Bannon backs people up to the cage, but so does Nicole Calari. So we'll see if the shorter person will be stronger, more stout, like a dwarf. And if Shauna Bannon, looking like an orc from Mordor, will steal this victory away from Nicole Calari. But I'm going to give this one to Shauna Bannon. And then we're going to move on to our next fighters. Daniel Perez versus Louis Garul. Daniel Perez is a boxer who's got good takedown defense and some crazy pressure. I watched a couple of his fights, and he was just putting it on people until he ran into Andre Lima, who's an extremely long fighter who kept him away at range and played that outside foot battle. Daniel Perez, I'm going to sound a little bit like our GOAT and savior, Joe Rogan. Daniel Perez invests into the leg kicks early on into the fight. I know he might be an older fighter, but who's ever said that old was bad? So, moving on to Louis Garul. Louis Garul has somewhat of the advantage here by being, I believe, a D1 or D2 wrestler in Colorado State. And I will say, after watching multiple of Daniel Perez's fights, he does lose to arm triangles and rear naked chokes. Jiu-jitsu, grappling, which sadly Louis Garul is an expert in. But as I was watching Louis Garul's fight, he's kind of like a brawler. He kicks pretty heavy, and he's got some good punches, but he's notorious for getting backed up to the cage. And when Daniel Perez backs you up to that cage, you better watch out, because he's coming all night long. So the fighter I have for this fight is obviously Daniel Perez. Alice Ardeline versus Polyana Viana. I'm going to have to give it to the prettier girl, Alice Ardeline. And then we're going to be moving on. Cody Brundage versus Andre Petrosky. Cody Brundage, a weird little guy. He's stepped up on multiple occasions to take on big ranked fighters such as Bo Nickel and a couple other names that you most likely know. Andre Petrosky has fought a couple of guys you probably don't know, but that's okay. Cody Brundage is a weird striker. I've seen him throw some strikes, and I'm like, what are you doing, dude? How'd you even get here? Are you in the right place? But he is in the right place. And I believe that Andre Petrosky is not in the right place. He's a big guy. He throws some haymakers. But I think really what it comes down to is that he's a brawler. He can wrestle a little bit, but I believe that Cody Brundage has the capabilities and abilities to stop Andre Petrosky's takedowns and keep him on the feet. And I think if Cody Brundage doesn't get chinned in round one, I think we'll be perfectly fine with a split decision. Moving on. Moving on. We're not going to look here. Tommy Gant versus Artur Manev. Something like that. I'm sorry that I can't pronounce that. Tommy Gant, older guy, real big wrestler. I watched his fight tonight, and I gotta say, he's got really good wrestling. Arteminev, I just watched him chin two guys in a row within the first round. And I'm not saying that's bad. I'm saying it's good. So hopefully he can keep Tommy Gant off of his jockstrap and chin him round one. Taco Tokos versus Ivan Urslan. I hate to say this, my boy Taco is about to get eaten. Ivan Urslan is about to be eaten. I think that Ivan Urslan, if he can stay on the feet, I think he's quicker on with the hands, better with the foot positioning, and better with his foot movement. Taco Tokas, I think he can, if he can get you down and wear you out, I think he can win, but I don't think that's going to be the case for this fight. I think they both have fought Navajo Sterling, and they both lost. But I think Ivan Urslan put up more of a fight than Tuco Tokos. Tacos. Than Ivan Urslan. So for this one, I'm going to give it to Ivan Urslan. Taco Tokas, he's a bit of a brawler. And Ivan Arslan is a little more technical, and so was Navajo Sterling in both of their fights. And Navajo Sterling couldn't put out Taco Tacos, and he couldn't put out Ivan Arslan. So I think I'm probably going to say that it's going to go to a unanimous decision for Ivan Arslan. Or Taco Tacos is going to use the special move, the blanket, and lay on him till he tires out. And then get that crazy arm triangle, make him go to sleep. Moving on to the main card, we have Nikolay Varetnikov versus Chaos Williams. For this one, I have to look at my notes here. For this one, I'm going to say between Chaos Williams and Nikolay Varetnikov, I believe that they're both really good strikers. I don't think this will go to the ground. There will not be no blankets in this fight. But I think that Chaos Williams is gonna put it on Nikolai Varetnikov, and I think he's gonna get a little overwhelmed. And Chaos Williams gonna use that American chin and chin this boy with his big old American hands, show him what's up. But I could be wrong, but I think this is gonna be a round 2 knockout by Chaos Williams. He's got the reach. He doesn't have the size, but he's got him by the age, and I think he's quicker. And unless Nikolai Varetnikov can keep him at bay with the jab and keeping that outside foot battle, I think Chaos Williams will get this. I think he's going to chin him with his big old American hands. No blanketing in this one. Timothy Kwambai versus Bernardo Sopaj. I believe that Timothy Kwamba is a wrestler and Bernardo Sopaj was training with Khamzat Chimaev. Now you tell me what that means. So I'll tell you what it means, actually. I don't know why I said that. Timothy Kwamba may try and wrestle with Bernardo Sopaj, but in Bernardo Sopaj's fight with I can't think of his name, but he tried Ricky Tercios. He tried to take him down, and he could not. Ricky Tercios could not take him down. And Ricky Tercios was putting on that pressure, but Bernardo Sopaj was getting out the way, bobbing and weaving, and put it on him. And with that, Timothy Kwamba, I've seen him put it on a couple of people. I saw him throw that little flying knee. I think that's pretty good. But I think Bernardo Sopaj will not be falling for that. He might not have the height, but I think he's got the hand speed and the fighting IQ to keep Timothy Kwamba at bay, off the cage, and keep him away from that. Keep himself away from that blanket because he's not trying to go to sleep. I think that Bernardo Sopaj is going to win by unanimous decision. Moving on. Modestas Bukauskas versus Christian Edwards. Christian Edwards hasn't even debuted in the UFC. Modestas Bukauskas. I've seen him fight Ion Cutelaba. I've seen him fight maybe Navajo Sterling. I don't know about that one. But my boy Modestas Bukauskas is a legend. And Christian Edwards, I just don't know that guy. And I couldn't find any of his fights. But he's pretty big. And they're fighting at a catch weight. So I think this is a couple days' notice for Christian Edwards. So I think Modestas Bukauskas will be pretty set up for this matchup. Moving on to Malcolm Wellmaker versus Juan Diaz. Malcolm Wellmaker's last fight, we watched him fight Ethan Ewing on a couple days' notice, and he lost. It just happens to the best of us. I think Malcolm Wellmaker, he got mixed up on the takedowns and the punches to the face, and it was just a little too much for him. He couldn't chin him in the first or second round, so he had to find out he did. So I think in this matchup, Juan Diaz is going to have a tougher time than Ethan Ewing, and Malcolm Wellmaker may not put him out, but I think he'll take him to decision. Count on that. And there will be no blankets. And maybe somebody's going to sleep, but I don't know, man. You just got to check it out. Choi Duho versus Daniel Santos. I watched Choi Doho versus Nate Landwehr. Oh my goodness, dude. The way he put hands on Nate Landwehr was absolutely insane. He was just bobbing and weaving and then taking him down so easy with foot sweeps. It was absolutely incredible. Now, Daniel Santos, I don't think he did anything that crazy. I don't think if Choi Doho comes in with the same attitude and the same skills and a awareness of where he is in the cage, I think that Daniel Santos is going to have a very tough time and might even get chinned round 2 or round 3 by Choi Doho. Choi Doho. I'm going to go with Choi Doho. I'm feeling stupid right now. Choi Doho is going to put the pause on Daniel Santos. But Daniel Santos has beaten one moment. Hold on, man. Josa and Gil and Jiang Yong Lee. But in Josa and Yao was just kind of, he was kind of showboating. I think he kind of got what he deserved, and it was his time to find out. And he found out he did, and he got chinned. But I don't think that's going to happen to my boy Choi Doho. Now on to the main event. I do not think my boy Arnold Allen will be getting chinned. He will not be getting spinning back kick to the face, because Arnold Allen, Melquizai Acosta, is going to look at Arnold Allen and be like, what kind of cat? He's going to be like, you fucking disrespecting me? Fucking beat the dog shit out of Melquizai Acosta and then go back for the fucking ultimate title run, bro. I think our time has come. Arnold Allen getting the title run. Melquizai Acosta is going to be like, I white puppy, I know black. And Arnold Allen's going to be like, what the fuck are you even talking about? Boom, 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 boom. Beat the dog shit out of Melquizai Acosta. And then he's gonna fucking go home and fucking pet his cat and be like, I beat the shit out of this guy. And he's gonna be like, check this out. Yeah, I think Arnold Allen had a really good performance in his last bout with Gene Silva. Some people say that he won. I don't know. I wasn't. I'm just a baby to this, and I watched it, and I kind of don't agree with it. Maybe I need to watch it again. But he kind of got ridden like a surfboard. My boy got ridden like a surfboard. Wasn't expecting that. And I guess it happens to the best of us. But Melquizaia Costa put it on Danny Ige. That spinning back kick to the face was insane. I'm pretty sure that I saw Danny Ige cry on the back stage. So I think that Arnold Allen's gonna beat him. I think it's gonna be a decision, but I think in my heart of hearts, I'm hoping that Arnold Allen shins this guy. Not for any particular reason. He didn't do anything, but I just want to see him chin him. I just want to see him chin him. And maybe Melquizaia Acosta catches him really good, but I think my boy's got too much autism to be getting fucked up by some random Brazilian bro. I don't care. But anyways, guys, um, I think this fight card's gonna be really good. I do really think that there may be some finishes. There might not be, but I do think there will. And if they're not finishes, I think every time they have like a UFC fight night, like the UFC fight nights are always popping off, always showing out, and fucking everybody misses it. And then they're like, "Holy shit, dude! This fucking fight card was fucking awesome, dude." Um, yeah, I remember one time I watched UFC Tampa, and I was like, "Man, this shit's boring." And then I fucking watched the card, and that shit was the fucking coolest shit ever, bro. So that's why I'm gonna try and tune into more fight nights and I'm gonna try and cover all the cards from now on, and write down notes. Um, this one might not be as good as the ones in the future because I really did um, decide today that I was gonna make this video. And today I'm gonna try and figure out what I want to do with blanketing and MMA blanketing. I think I'm gonna make a tier list on the different kinds of like food places that you be watching UFC at, like the kind of people in it, and like yeah, I mean just like the setting, the overall environment of the whole place. So just check me out, and I'm gonna keep on pumping these videos out and telling you what's gonna happen and what's not gonna happen. Right? Anyways, the blanket's out. Honk shoe, honk shoe.